was a stranger walking roads alone.
Grand Rising. Today is Saturday, April 19th, and the weather right now is 66 degrees. Can you believe that? Sorry, 66 degrees when it was like freezing yesterday. Anyhow, that is a sample of the You I Love, songwriter Amber Shalene Wills. And that's a great morning start for this morning. And how is everyone doing? How is everyone doing? So, You I Love, songwriter Amber Shalene Wills. I forgot to ask if she has it in the iTunes yet. It's a beautiful song. And I don't know if I have my, I think I do. It's funny, it's because I don't know how I set up my live in regards to advertising, because I do like to advertise my mishpaka. It's a Hebrew word for brothers and sisters, creations, creativity. Because when I try to recommend other people that are on TikTok and their products and whatnot, I didn't realize there's a lot of words I couldn't say. I gotta be careful what I say now. It's not funny. So anyhow, rejection-free sales while I am doing digital marketing, starting my own online business actually, has been an amazing journey for me. I had 2.5 years ago, I became a widow, and I've had to start over, feeling alone and abandoned, just starting over and losing my direction, and now I have purpose and direction, and I've invested in myself. Coming from a caretaker, which I was a caretaker, just providing everything for my late husband, that there's so much that you do when you're a caretaker that you neglect, that you let go, that you don't take care of. And the reality is that your health is number one that is compromised, that your diet is compromised, your stress levels are compromised. And being a care provider means that usually my patient, my late husband, was priority, that he was comfortable, that he was taken care of. So after he's passed, of course, I'm going to feel like I have no direction. And I needed basically a lighthouse. I needed a direction a pathway to help me get through my grief and to find me a direction in which that would provide for me an income, that actually I could work from home, that I could feel good about, that I could feel confident about, that I could learn some skills. Grand Rising, Grand Rising. So when I'm talking about this program that I came across, the Legacybuilders program, and it was a step-by-step instructions that were easy for me to follow. I didn't have to be tech savvy. I didn't have to recreate the wheel. I didn't have to. I had to be able to take instruction, to be coachable. I had to follow a step-by-step process, a proven blueprint that was already laid out for me. It was already done. It was already done for me. So I didn't have to do anything other than show up each and every day. So this is part of the attraction marketing. I am here at 6:40 every morning, most of every morning. I've been taking off the Sabbath, which is on Sunday this year, based upon the equinox, the straight shadow, Mezzarine. And because I'm able to work a short amount of time period, work smarter, not harder, I'm able then to take off my Sabbath and take off majority of my day to do other tasks and other chores. And, dealing with a daily ongoing, there is so much that needs to be done, whether it's cleaning the home or cleaning out a barn or dealing with a new relationship that I'm in. There's constant maintenance and adjustment and growth. And I was making some videos in regards to what do other people do and use for boundaries. And I'm waiting for people to basically respond to, I think I did a live yesterday, and I was trying to get that part of my live that actually talked about boundaries. And when starting over again and feeling alone and feeling abandoned and then having lost my direction and my purpose in life, because I was a caretaker, because I was responsible for a living being and a living, breathing being. And then all of a sudden my job goes away, and when that job went away, I had all this time on my hands, but I didn't know what to do with it. And I certainly didn't feel like taking care of myself. So what do other people find themselves doing to recatch their footing underneath them? I'll just keep rambling, but feel free to offer your comments. Shalom, shalom, Tracy. Hello from this side to your side. Oh my goodness. Weather has been changing dramatically. A good 30 to 40 degrees difference. Yesterday we got a lot. What's the question? The question is, I was talking about being a care provider for my late husband. After becoming a widow, that direction, that purpose for myself went away. So now starting over and finding a new direction, being in a new relationship, starting an online business, right? How do other people set boundaries? How do other people redefine who they are? Because I want something different. I have this opportunity. It's not like I wanted it to happen. You know what I mean? I didn't want to lose my best friend and my soulmate and my partner, my partner in crime. And I have to start over again. So having new boundaries, whereas I was a care provider where my needs went last. How do people start putting themselves first? And when they do put themselves first, what do they do when they start to feel guilty or ashamed, when they start to say, no, this is what I need to do, this is my time, and no, I don't want to be treated that way, right? I think I want to be treated this way. And I'm getting a lot of pushback from people around me in my life when I am starting over again. And I have started my own online business. And that means that I am learning and I'm focusing on learning new things. And that means I'm not as attentive. That also means that I'm not as available, even though I am right here. See, when people are used to texting you, calling you, and you're in the middle of doing something for your business so that you can, pay your bills, and to set a time limit so that I can go on to go take care of something else. What do people do when people get uncomfortable with you focusing on something that you need to do for yourself, right? So when people get uncomfortable, are you needing to go to the mirror and say, it's okay, I'm with you, I support you. You're doing good. It's okay. It's okay to take that time for yourself. What do other people do to help them to realign their boundaries, those invisible boundaries we all have, saying, no, I need, I'm not sure what I need. Sometimes isn't that the way it is? Sometimes I don't know what I need. So when I say, no, let me figure this out. Let me figure out this time period. Let me figure out the steps. Let me be okay in my new space. Right. It's a standard, right? The being treated is an outside of you. We accept or reject being treated. It's our standard. Exactly. And I'm thinking, I could be wrong, that when being a caretaker and taking care of another person's needs because they depend upon you, so that I would ignore my own needs and placate and cater to other people that have been in my life. And now I'm finding that my time is more precious. Time is so precious. And when I'm focused and I show up and I'm able to get my task taken care of, that I have this great sense of like confidence and accomplishment, right? Knowing our standards for ourselves is a feat and takes time and attention. It does. I really do. Because there's that emotional give and take at the same time where I have to give the affirmations. I got to do a head duck for some water. I can't drink them on screen here. Nutsy, right? I'm sorry. I thought that's kind of funny. I'm going to be head bobbing just to get water. It's the crux of it falls in loving your neighbor as yourself. You grow to be better for others, and you get all the reward. I think it's a healthy building of relationships when people know where they stand with you. If I had next to no boundaries, being a mother, oh, come on. Being a mother, I was always giving to my children, always providing, trying to stop what I was doing to focus on their needs, homework, conversations, silly little conversations of their day, of girls going and doing this and boys doing that. You know how teenage girls are. Or, well, you're going to learn real soon, right, Tracy? Being available, because I wanted to be a available parent when I was raising my kids. I did not set up healthy boundaries. Not for myself as a mother, as a woman, as a parent. I lacked that part, so that when they started to get into these difficult situations where they wanted to make some really intense decisions, I'd say to all of them, I can't make your decisions for you. You have to make them and be happy with your decisions. And that it specifically did not make my daughter very happy to hear me say, I'm not going to tell you what to do. You need to do a pro and con kind of list, right? Yeah. Yes, when we know our personal standard expectation of self, we naturally have healthy boundaries, right? And that's something I have never learned. Do you realize that? I've never learned healthy boundaries. I have gone from being a parent to a caretaker and wife, where I picked up the slack. Wherever there was slack, I took and I did things for whatever needed to be done. and we walk integrity, consistent, dependable, faithful as a father is faithful, right? The problem with that is when I continually would stop what I was doing and focus on whomever it was that needed my attention, they, usually do not like my response when I said, I don't know, I can't make it your choice for you. That really ticked off my daughter. Yeah. And so she wanted someone to tell her what to do. I said, I'm not going to be responsible for telling you what to do. I can love you. I can support you. I can tell you how to do a pro and con check-off list, because that's important, so that you can make a wise decision for yourself. But I can tell you my own experiences when I listen to other people, because lots of times people who give lots of advice, they're not living your life. They're a different personality. So if you take someone who's insecure, that's never stood up for themselves, saying, no, I'm not comfortable with that. No, I'm tired. I've already had enough for today. I can't do again. No, just being able to say the word no, and then to feel like, no, I'm not going to move. I'm not budging. I set this as a goal and it needs to get done, and no, I'm going to take care of it. And if I don't have any support doing it, fine, but don't expect me to make more time and more energy out of the air to help you do something else that wasn't even on the agenda, and it's not important. It's not important to me, but it may be important to them. And you know what I mean? There has to be a give and take, right? There has to be a give and take in regarding to understanding what is important to your partners and your friends, and know that there's these limitations. And sometimes in life, living our everyday to our best, we have to take care of that self-care. And so that's where I am breathing and doing affirmations, and I'm moving and I'm exercising. I'm waking up early and I'm taking care of my online business so that I can basically learn more skills, more strategies, and being able to find financial answers of multiple income streams. It's amazing, because there's so much out there in the digital market that it's exciting. It's a completely different revenue of income, completely. So there's a period of going through this that is selfish in regard to time for self while we learn. Yes. And I'm finding a lot of emotional pushback in regards to telling myself, you deserve this. You're going to be okay. Take this time for yourself. You don't need to go placate and pet people's egos and make them feel better about themselves about you saying, no, I'm not doing it. It is a step. Here it is, yet again, another healthy method that I'm learning from being my own online business owner, that I have to be consistent, show up, and I have to keep myself aligned with my goals. And sometimes if I don't get my work done, it's because I'm being distracted and I'm taking care of other things and other people. And that is frustrating, and it affects me emotionally that I don't it makes me very unhappy when I am constantly giving of myself and I'm not able to be present in my own life, my own consistency, and my own online investment in myself. So it's like, oh, here I have this investment, but I have no time to spend in my investment. It was a great thought. It's a great, wonderful thought. But I'm so focused taking care and supporting someone else when it's not earning me an income. It's not earning me an income, right? Right? It's funny. It's because when you have children or you have someone that's incapable of taking care of themselves, that's one thing. When you have a perfectly healthy adult that can take care of their own self and their own needs, then you should be able to come together as a partnership and take on responsibilities. And sometimes those responsibilities are work. They're work. They actually take time. They take labor. They take energy. So when you're in this relationship and someone doesn't want to work, they find it difficult to follow through and do something on their own, that it just breaks my focus to come over here, go over there, to guide, to help. And it's like, at some days I just feel like, you know what, figure it out. I gotta focus. I gotta take care of what I need to take care of. And it can be very frustrating, and it can be very emotional, because again, I have to then go to the mirror and say, it's okay. It's okay to have limits. I support you. You're doing your best to move forward. You're doing your best to start over again. And it's okay. It's okay. I'm with you. I support you. Do some big hugs. You know what I mean? Right, right. It's interesting. It's because when you have different personalities that come together, because they do care about each other, they have come together. Because they care about the Father, they have come together. But when you have two personalities where one is a worker and one is not a worker, and the other one is just starting to find enjoyment in doing certain activities, that the one that's the worker is running around trying to catch up all the slack, and feeling, and it's funny, it's because I have to take ownership of my time and my energy and what needs to be done. There is requirements that need to be done. It is hard to do something that your heart is not in. And it is not always easy to live on a homestead. It is not always easy to shovel poop in the barn, to clean an environment, or provide fresh water or food, or make sure the animals are safe, or caring for them. Or it is time consuming to follow after Tommy, to make sure that he's in with the herd and he's not being, the herd was, all of the females and the males in the beginning would headbutt him because they didn't want him near them. And he, of course, is still nursing. And so that watching, but at a distance, is very time consuming. And there's been many a days where I've had to basically sit out there in the field watching, because he still is a baby, and seeing how he integrates with the herd. So it's interesting, is because they have this process of, don't try to nurse on me because I have my own babies I'm feeding. He has his own mother, which is constantly headbutting him when he thinks he can nurse. He now is understanding the only time he can nurse is when David or I are present and we are with her and feeding her grain. and she will allow him to nurse while she's eating grain. And she has a collar on, and she has a leash on so that she can't turn around and butt him, or worse. They don't bite. Fortunately, lambs do not have an aggressive bone in their body unless they don't want you to nurse on them. For some reason, that's like head ramming, throw you through the air, becoming airborne, So yeah, being on a homestead has a lot of its bonuses and pluses and beauty. It is beautiful and peaceful. Yeah. And then there are days where it is trying. It is very much trying. And those are the days where I just put on my boots, get dressed, and go take care of whatever it is. Whether it's tackling a big project and wheedling it down, it's that consistency. It's the same as what you need to do when you have your own online business, when you have to show up and be consistent. Showing up consistent, whether it's a small step-by-step process, which is like this program. This program is a step-by-step instruction where I have been able to learn and stop what I'm doing on these little short videos. It's amazing. These little modules were set up for my success, for anybody that is living their lives to learn and then stop, and then go take care of whatever needs to get taken care of, whether it's feeding the lambs or letting them out or cleaning up or watering or fixing. I have all these rain gutters that need to be put up, rain catchment that needs to be set up. I have huge 265-gallon water tote for collection, and I have gardens and planter boxes that still need to be set. I built them. All they need is my time to take a shovel or a pick and clear out legs space where I have 4 legs that are extended down so that they can grab into the soil on the hill so they don't slide, so I can then start filling them with the last year's manure, compost, and then put soil on top of it. Where do I get that time? I'm running around. Picking up the slack everywhere, and I'm having to make boundaries. And that is really difficult for me, having boundaries. It's difficult for me to say this is a priority because I need to be able to plant seeds so I can grow vegetables, because everything takes a certain time period to grow. And of course, we live in Kentucky, so we have this growing period where I believe the last frozen nights are soon passing. We have until around the 20th, and today's the 19th, where we have our frost warnings that would freeze everything. So this is actually the good time to start planting potatoes and carrots and lettuces and tomatoes and cucumbers and bell peppers and ancho chilies. I love ancho chilies. I love all of those chilies. And it's just things that need to get done. And where does this time come from? I can't magically draw them out of the air when I get distracted or I'm doing something else. Yesterday I spent hours mowing because the grass was getting long, and could have it been put off for a day or two? I don't know. And and where am I going to get this time to reset the legs for my planters so that I could start the labor of getting them filled? And I'm still cleaning out a lamb barn, and it's just it's a continual thing. So this lifestyle, when we talk about online businesses and we say, oh, they're wonderful, marvelous, they are, because I can reclaim my day, I can reclaim my time and my energy, work a short work day, get my work out Digital marketing is amazing. I can do the work at any time of the day, get it posted, get my videos out there, get myself into the algorithms. I basically was offline, suspended. It took longer than 8 days because they did not get me back my live. And then I had the feast I had to partake in, and I had Shabbat. So that was 9 days. And then we had what happened with Tommy, and I had no more time. I had to focus and be emotionally there and available to take care of the livestock, because I guess I'm the only one that knows first aid. So I need to pay attention to all these like symptoms and signs and mental health, and making sure that he's getting plenty of water and he's getting plenty of feed, paying attention to all these little details. And that the fact that he's been able to join the herd the last 2 days has been a big deal, because he was keeping himself separate. And that's why he was on a leash. He was on a leash to keep him away from Ralph, the night guard. And he was kept on a 25-foot leash that made sure he didn't wander. He was wandering. You know, if I went into the house, he'd be wandering and looking for me. And he would be going near Ralph, not thinking anything was going to hurt him. Yeah, and it's only going to get busier. This is the season, planting season, growing season. Weeding is now starting. I am so grateful to have lambs, because they are keeping a lot of this growth down, and they're keeping the briars down this year, which is amazing. And they're staying away from the blackberry. I was worried about my blackberries, and they seem to be focusing on the briars, which is really awesome, because the briars are a pain in the butt, or the skin, I guess, right? They get kind of prickly, right? Oh yeah, it is a lot of work. And it's like you want rain, but the rain, it makes such a mess. You want the rain because things will grow, and I do. And I want the dry weather so that I can actually go out there and work, right? I want to go out there and work. And I have a friend that's 3,000 miles away, and he's used to being able to text me. He's 87 years old. He's very active. He does not act as she's like a 60-year-old. He bowls 3 times a week. He travels to go see his friends. He's all over the place. And he's used to texting me. He is used to texting me and me responding. And the weirdest thing is, as my phone is getting older, or I have a lot of stuff on my memory, that I'm not getting notifications when he sends a text. And I know I probably should be texting him first thing in the morning, even though it's a 3-hour time period, to let him know I'm fine, everything's good, and I'm starting my day. And I forget. And that's irritating him. It's irritating him that I'm not responding right away. And I know that many of us have to deal with people in our lives that we love. We have stopped whatever we're doing to focus on them. But the reality is, when you have time and daylight and you have to get things done, where are your priorities? Are you going to be able to be consistent, show up, and take care of yourself at the same time? Right? You know, whether you need to take a nap or to rest because you're physically working, or are you eating a meal, right? Are you loving on yourself? Because it takes a lot of self-love. It takes a lot of feeling worth it to start a program, to start a new way of thinking, to start a new online business. It does. I never thought, I thought it would just be basically I'd be learning it, I could do it, why not? I was able to show up to a 9-to-5 job. I was able to show up each day and take care of my customers, or I was able to make jewelry and go to a show. The reality is, when you are being mentored by 6- and 7-figure earners, millionaires, people on the brink of breaking $1 million, because they are helping other people. They are helping other people start their own online business. That somewhere in here it clicks that, do I deserve that? Is that possible? Is there a worthiness level? Am I capable? And this program has been set up so I don't have to be tech savvy. I don't need to program the automations that come with the program, or I don't need to design a website that would cost me a lot of money to design. It comes pre-built so that I can succeed while I'm learning. And because it's been made so easy to follow, then the emotional stuff starts happening. Am I worthy? Am I smart enough? Am I deserving of this? And then you have other people saying, poo poo. They're the poo poo. The people that say, they hear the word digital marketing and they automatically think of someone chasing another person down or trying to sell them this container. It's like, and it's not like that. It's not like that at all. Right? It's knowing what I have exactly, and that is part of actually the master race, right? And it's funny is because even with the master resale rights, when you in the contract that you cannot change the price of it because it has value. It's an e-learning program and it's digital, so you can access it anywhere from your phone, wherever you have Wi-Fi. And the value of being able to go anywhere and learn, whether, I remember being on the bus and traveling to go to the college, to take classes at the junior college, and how much time I had to invest to travel, to have the right change, to have my monthly bus pass ready to go, right? It's mind-boggling, right? It's mind-boggling. So starting my own online business was more than just doing it. It was being consistent and showing up for myself to show that I have value, show myself that I have value for me. And that is a hard one because a lot of people could see that as ego. Oh, look, they're all doing this. It's like, yeah, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Think about it. I'm doing it. Instead of not getting started. There's a lot of people that will buy this program. They will take that first step in believing in themselves to do something new in their life. Me doing something new in my life, having my own online business where I can earn 6 and 7 figures. And then to find out, oh wow, she has mindset coaches. What are mindset coaches, right? I'm just talking to myself, random. Why does she have all these mentors and support and coaches that come as a free bonus in the school app that comes with that program? Because of the emotional doo-doo that I carry around on that self-worth and the self-value. Am I worthy? Can I do this? Do I really have something to offer? Yes. And that's where the attraction marketing comes in, because I'm not learning someone else's story. I'm learning to share my story. I'm learning storytelling strategies and techniques. Who would have thought that there'd be so much involved in learning how to digital market, and yet she's made it easy. It's just, she's made it so easy. But the biggest block I was having was between these two areas, right? And just doing videos and talking about this emotional journey of coming out of that type of mindset of losing my purpose and finding my purpose has been an amazing journey. It has been an amazing journey. And even if I wasn't going to make this my job or make this my business, the process of the task, the assignments. I'm going to use the word assignments. The assignments that I am doing have helped me personally so much. And right now I'm getting a lot of pushback from my boundaries. Right now I'm setting up boundaries, which I had never really had before. Never really had them. It's okay if people, people can choose to do and act and be who they need to be. I'm not going to interfere with that. And I'm going to choose to do the things that I need to do to learn, to move forward, to live my life. And I'm not going to worry about the rest. And that is a big thing because there is always kickback. There is always kickback, and I have to learn to be okay with myself demanding that separation, that space. I need to have personal space, and I have not been a really good space maker, right? It's funny because I was reflecting on all the things that I have done throughout my life where I was constantly taking care of and providing for other people. If they had a need, I'd find a way to provide that need. Or if I needed to invest my time to help support someone else to do a task. And it's really interesting. It makes someone feel better about themselves, or to just be an ear, sometimes when people are complaining and talking about what's going on in their life. There is I'm hoping it's a temporary state also, yes, just to eventually take them down to be true, right? Exactly, so that you can actually put these boundaries up on a person upon person, situation upon situation, circumstance, right? As they come, I would like to be able to have different boundaries for different situations and different people. And right now, I am finding my personal time and my attention, my energy is I'm putting pushback. I'm putting pushback. I'm doing pushback right now. We don't want walls. Boundaries take away from us as much as it protects us. Yes, but when people overstep your boundaries continually, hurting, when I would continually get hurt, my feelings hurt, my needs not being met, I harden up like a shell gets built around me. And when my shell is firm like iron, I don't care what anybody's needs are. I don't care how they feel. I don't give two pennies on rubbing them together, whatever is going on in their life, because they didn't give any care to taking the last part of my energy or my feelings, or because people will continually take if you don't set boundaries. They will take until your health is affected. They will take from you until your hair falls out. They will take and take and take. And the only person that's responsible for that is myself. So then I don't shut off completely. So learning healthy boundaries so that I don't shut off completely is important. So being selfish. So I'm not going to worry about hurting other people's feelings at this point in time because I don't have any room right now, and trying to be consistent and trying to start my own online business and learn all the strategies that I need to do while I'm trying to be my authentic self and be honest with myself. I cannot be a leader. I can't show someone else, listen, this is how it needs to be done, or you're going to be burning the candle at both ends. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. It becomes this intermeshing of being true to myself and honoring myself, and it can be seen as being highly selfish and highly self-supporting, but it actually is in survival mode. When I go into survival mode, I have all my shields up. I have everything. That if someone has come in and I've given them everything and they continually come at me, they're going to get nothing but a wall. I'm going to give them nothing. They're going to get nothing. And either they go away on their own, or they're going to force me to have to defend myself to basically reclaim my space. And none of us should have to get that far. None of us. I shouldn't have to ever feel that way about my own boundaries, about my own personal space. I shouldn't have to feel like I need to defend myself. I should say, no. I need a breather. I need some time. I need to focus on this. I need to take care of learning something new so that I feel better about what I'm doing, and having some quality time doing something that I enjoy doing. I love mowing. And it's work. When I get done mowing, my back hurts. I am stiff like a stick. I am hurting all over. I hurt all over. And so when I'm done, it's such a great sense of accomplishment to see a newly mowed yard that's beautiful. It's green. It's like a green velvet. It's beautiful. It's a great sense. You're smelling the grass. You're breathing the air. The sunlight's on you. It's like you're working at the same time that you're being rewarded for working. And that is what it feels like, learning and having purpose again in my own online business. It's because I'm feeling confident again. I'm feeling intelligent again. Because, when I had no boundaries, people that kept coming and wanting me to do things for them, they have a way of talking. When a person has no boundaries, they have a way of undermining you and making comments that you're not smart enough, you're not competent, you're not young enough, or they poo-poo your excitement when you learn something new. And that was the type of people I was surrounded around. Those are the people that surrounded me, the people that wanted to keep me down so that I would continually serve them. And I'm like, wow. I was watching a inspirational video last night, and it's like, do you miss the person you thought they were, or do you miss the person they truly were? Made me stop and pause when I heard that. Do I miss my late husband, the person I thought he was, or do I miss who he was, right? And I'm like, wow, that's a good question. That's a good question because, in all marriages for long periods when you're together with somebody, there's things that you don't like about them that you make allowances for because you love them. You're in a committed relationship. You're working through your relationships, right? And you're in it for the long haul. You're committed to them. So it's really interesting to watch that and really take it personally and think about it. Like, have I been missing the person I blew him up to be, or was I missing the man he truly was, especially at the end? At the end, he was almost nonverbal. He only spoke when he had to speak, and it was just basics. It was just the basics because of his pain level. And he wouldn't take pain meds. He wouldn't take pain meds. He wanted to be with me. He didn't want to leave. But he was going to leave because the disease was taking over. Everything was taking over. And I didn't get to talk with him. I didn't get to share anything with him regarding what to do and how to do it. We were a power couple. We communicated, we did things, we planned things together. So it's a completely different relationship with Dave and I, because he had thoughts and ideas on a relationship that he would like to have had, where he's working shoulder to shoulder with his partner, because his ex basically wore the pants and did instructions, and he had to follow them. So he has these expectations of being somebody that's shoulder to shoulder. And I think when you look at the reality of people coming together in a relationship and you're working on communication skills, that I was used to taking instruction also. So we have two people that are used to taking instruction to do what we're instructed to do without any leaders in the group. And then that push and pull of, you know what, I gotta stop. This is not working. I need some boundaries. I need to know and find out about myself a little bit more, because I didn't realize I didn't have any boundaries. It's like the worst time in the world to be in a relationship with somebody else and realize that you have no boundaries. And time out. I need to work on this. I need to reestablish my boundaries so that I can be consistent with myself and have my own online business, so I can show other people these are the steps. These are the steps I've done. Don't expect people to be happy about it, especially when you're reestablishing boundaries, right? It's this online business has done so much for me individually, as therapy and guidance and consistency and thriving, to build an online business that thrives and will succeed. It's already paid for itself. I don't know how many times over. I swear, every time I do a new step-by-step, a new instructions, an assignment, there is some assignments that I will not post and share, and she wants us to share, and I'm like, oh no, I'm too embarrassed. I'm too ashamed to even admit I'm a human being with these fears and anxieties and frustrations, and here I am talking about them here on live. To anybody that's available to even listen to them, because the reality is everybody deals with self-worth and value. They're just different levels. Some people are like, I don't care, and I do what I want. I know, and they seem very brash. It's like prickly, and I don't want to be prickly. I don't want to be. I want to have healthy boundaries that say, okay, I need this. I need this. I respect you. I see you over there. What do you need for the day? okay, then let's meet up. Give me an hour, give me 2 hours. Let's meet up and I'll help you with that. I need to get this done today because such and such and such needs to be done. But ignore what I just said because I was thinking out loud. See, that's another thing. Women, we like to think out loud. And men don't understand that. They're like, I hope you didn't expect me to take notes, right? I think that's what Dave has an issue. I'm like, no, ignore all that I just said. I was thinking out loud. Because, I'm trying to prioritize, priorities. When you have a list of priorities, it's really a good idea to write them down daily so that you can show up and feel good about your accomplishments and have a real idea of what you can do in that day. Reality without being completely exhausted and unable to move the next day, right? So it's the showing up and being consistent and learning about myself and learning boundaries and saying, hey, I need this time. I need to focus. I need to take care of these things that are important. I'm building a legacy. I'm building an online business, and I'm going to be showing other people how to do it for themselves. And getting through a lot of these emotional hurdles and realigning myself for success is something that needs to be passed on, right? Your coworkers think out loud, are you talking to me? Does it help you? Right? That's the question. It's like, I don't know. It depends. What'd you hear? Did it help? Is it right? So that's funny. So right now, currently, in this online business, I am learning attraction marketing and how to story tell. I'm getting better at it. I ramble a lot. I do a lot of and I'm supposed to be precise. And with practice, it will come. It will come. And using certain words to show direction and a purpose and a goal. Shortening it. I'm learning to shorten things, right? Yeah, they're always talking to themselves. It helps them. Yes, I ask. Yeah, it's like, I do that to Dave because Dave talks a lot to the Father. And I'll say to him, did you want me to respond? And he'd say, yes, I was talking to you. Well, I'm sorry. You're going to have to say Julie. you're gonna have to say my name. Hey, hun, Julie. Oh, yes, you're talking to me. Okay, right. Okay, so yeah, and I get a little embarrassed about sharing things like that. It's like oh, we're all human. Oh, we all have things we have to do. Oh no. So I'm learning this attraction marketing. I'm learning how to storytell, which I never thought that would be such an important thing, but it really truly is. So I get to learn. I get to learn how to do this, and it's amazing. It's amazing. So because of this attraction marketing and learning how to even type it up in my ads or on my description for my videos or the hashtags, the algorithms are then sending out and aligning up my perfect customers. And I'm thinking, without them, their characters, their personalities, and you see, I'm such a prepper. I loved, it's a totally different mindset. But I was like a doomsday, the world's going to end kind of mentality. And I needed to prepare for everything. Right? Yeah. It's like, so now coming out of that mindset and living today in the now moment has been my goal. And in order to be in my now moment, I have to take care of myself yesterday, right? I have to make sure that my body is being taken care of, that I'm being bathed, I have nutrition, health, vitality, and that I'm feeling confident and I'm feeling good about myself. So I had to do all that yesterday to feel good with my direction and my consistency today. And then the whole time I have to talk to myself in the mirror saying, you're worth it. You're worth it. I love you. I'm here for you. You can do this. Because there's lots of days I wake up with negative thoughts, negative conversation, fear, anxiety, and I'm thinking, where is this coming from? Where is this coming from? And then I have to look at the mirror and say, hey, get my attention. I'm like, hey, we talk to ourselves. You got to learn how to talk to yourself. It's okay. It's okay if you feel this way. It's okay if you have no understanding. It's a big question mark. If there's a big question mark in where you're going, what your life is about, and what is your goal, and it makes you start to think. It's like, well, I don't know. I don't know. The Father has a divine plan, and He'll tell me, right? That way I don't have to make that decision. I don't have to make that choice. I don't have to say I failed at something or I succeeded at something. And then guess what happens? I get reminded of a scripture that says that He walked in front of Yasharel and He walked behind Yasharel. And he says to walk boldly and He will walk with you. Oh, because He wants us to live life. And I'm thinking, oh, so you mean I actually have to commit to my success. I have to commit to my life. I have to commit to me. Ouch. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I don't know if I'm ready to commit to myself. Well, I've already invested in myself. That was a first step. So that's awesome. And then I realized that I was my biggest block. So I started the affirmations, tapping exercises, get moving, rebounder, start exercising, do a lot of self-love talk. So I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I'm showing up for myself. Isn't that enough? And then you're like, no. You have to have a plan. You have to have an idea. What does Julie want? What does Julie need? Julie needs to be Julie. Julie needs to be comfortable with Julie, right? I need to be comfortable with myself. I need to be okay with saying the word no. Such a good word, isn't it? Such a powerful word to say no, isn't it? But then be able to have that courage and the strength to say yes. Yes. Yes to life. Yes to love. Yes to new relationships and friendships. Yes, it's going to be okay. Even when bad things happen, even having that situation happen with Yogi. I was looking at all of the pictures of Yogi when he was found by my neighbor, he and his siblings. I started to see pictures of him when he was a newborn. He was 4 weeks old. His eyes had just, especially when it's said with integrity, if I can't, I can't. If I can, I will, because I love. Yeah, exactly. You got to say it. A lot of people call it manifestation, and a lot of people don't understand that it's a lot of self-love, and it's a lot of feeling worthy. And I was thinking of little Yogi, and he's no longer with us because of what he had done, nearly killing Tommy. It was like a light switch, and I was thinking, was I missing something? And I was looking at his pictures since he was 4 weeks old, and I had fallen in love with this dog. Boy, that hurt. That hit a nerve. I'd fallen in love with this puppy, this dog, this new life. And I had all these plans for him. And he was going to be such a great add to our family. He was going to be such a great add. So when I did the Chat GPT and I said what his breed was, and Chat says, well, the earlier you get him, the faster you can start training him to be around the lambs, the better off he would be. Problem is, we only knew that he was half blue heeler. We didn't know what the other half was. So I did not know what his instincts were. I did not know what his predisposition was gonna be. And because of that, I took a risk and I invested a lot of time, a lot of love, a lot of training for this new puppy into our lives. And the one time I don't have him on a chain, he's allowed to run free. It wasn't the first time he had run free. I had allowed him to start to integrate with Ralph so that Ralph and him would have some respect for each other, because Yogi did not have any boundaries. He was not afraid of anything. He was taking on 100-pound dogs, and he was growing incredibly fast. He was eating as much food as a 100-pound dog, and he was a puppy. So when we picked him up at 7 weeks of age, he literally tripled in size. Literally tripled in size in the last 3 weeks. Well, I mean, we got him right the week after in 5 weeks. So he was 11 weeks old, maybe 12 weeks old. His aggressiveness started getting worse and worse as he started hitting maturity. As soon as his testosterone, I don't know what boy dogs hormones are called, as soon as they kicked in, he was starting to be very, very aggressive. He was within a 4-day time period before we had to remove him from the property. He was taking on and showing his teeth and biting and causing blood on the dogs, and the dogs would correct him. They would correct him. They would shake him, and Alice would sit on him, and he would yelp and be afraid, and she wasn't hurting him, but she was just telling him, you need to stop. You need to stop. Calm down. And I had him on the leash continuously. So when I came upon him last Saturday when we were cleaning up the lamb barn, I have a video of saying, good boy, Yogi, you're being such a good boy. I was thinking, was I missing something? Yes, he had signs of being highly aggressive towards the dogs, but I thought maybe that was a dog thing. He was nipping at Tommy, and I would correct him immediately. Stop that. Tap him on the nose. Stop. Don't do that. And then he'd run up to the lamb, look at me and stop, and then he'd kind of veer off and go do something else. And he was learning, and so he was acting like he was getting it, and he was being very kind and not jumping on the baby lamb, because different mentalities. You could tell a dog mentality compared to a baby lamb. The innocent Tommy was so big for his size. He was already 12 pounds by the time his first week was up, and he started growing teeth by the time he was week and a half, and his bottom teeth. And by his mind, he was a baby. He was bottle feeding. He was trying to snuggle. He was doing what babies do. They sleep all the time. They take a bottle and they just want affection, just like babies. And so when Tommy had come and we were trying to show, yes, Tommy's taller than you, but he's a baby. You gotta be gentle. I was going through those pictures of Yogi and seeing his progressiveness and hoping that he was going to be big, right? that he was going to be big. And whatever breed he was mixed with, it looked like it was beagle, but I've never known a beagle to be that aggressive before. I have never known. I had 2 rescue beagles that adopted me. They came to me here on the land when my late husband passed. The father was sending strays to me, I guess. They needed to be loved and cared for, and they were both of them acted like they had been severely abused, and so they cowered all the time. They were very timid animals. It took my one dog 6 months before he trusted when I put the hand gesture to sit down that he actually sat. He was that docile and that shell-shocked. And so Yogi looked like he was that type of breed, and I thought, well, that would be amazing, because that means that the animal is sensitive and cares about a person's like correction. This is a no. We don't do this. And just rolling him on his back to correct him, he never got corrected. He never ever relaxed. And finally, I just had him on his back one time for like 15 minutes saying, no, I am the boss of you. I am the boss of you. And then he would learn to relax. I was like, thank you, Father. It's like, thank you, Father. So when he turned on Tommy, for whatever reason it was in his little dog brain, he attacked him, and he started to tear at him and proceeded to eat him, bits and pieces of him, and to cause, he was causing the red to flow, and the trauma that he caused to this baby lamb was horrendous. And I don't think I'm ever going to get through it, though I think the animal's going to get through it much faster than me. As it is, I don't know what's going to happen with his ears, or what we're going to end up having to do if they don't heal, because both of them had been torn at the halfway mark, and he was just starting to work at the top, so we don't know. We're just in a limbo time period. So I'm looking at these pictures of him, and I'm thinking how much I was creating this story of this dog that was going to be a happy add to the homestead and be part of this family. And I just didn't give up on him. I didn't give up on him until I had to give up on him. And then it was too late. The damage was already done. The harm was already done, and it could never, ever be undone. And then there's no place for an animal that does what he did. There's no place for an animal that does that. They are hunters. They are killers. There was just I had been emotionally dealing with that this last week, and I kept on thinking. And I watched that video about people in our lives when we make them into the person that we wanted to love, animal we wanted to love, in the reality of who they truly were or truly are. Wow, right? And what do you do with something like that? What are the steps to deal with that It's like, am I one of those people that hope for the best, that want the best, that make situations and people and places better in my own mind because it makes me feel better? I hope that they're better people or they're better animals than what they truly are, and ignoring the signs, ignoring the little episodes, and having it cost, having that to pay that cost. What is the cost at the end when I don't know. I want to be honest with myself and say that I deceived myself and I lied to myself, that I was altruistic. I wanted what was best. I wanted to provide a home. I desired. But the reality is, it wasn't the right fit. You can't make a square peg fit into a round hole. And sometimes there are hard lessons to learn. Those are hard lessons to learn. Yeah, it's a hard lesson to learn the mistakes. And I'm still making them. And you would think at age 59, having lived my life and experienced so much, that I'm still learning, right? I guess it's a good thing, because I'm still here. I'm still able to learn. I just have to try something new and different. Can't repeat the same things expecting something different, a different outcome. So I need to learn some new skills. I need to learn some new skills and tools and strategies. And that's what this online business is doing with, what is it? Affirmation in regards to in spades, right? Yes, exactly. I was just going to say it's a hard lesson, but eventually what we need to learn changes its course. Yeah. Either it can make us or it can break us. It can make me or it could break me. Am I ever going to have another animal come on the homestead? I need another animal to come onto the homestead to support Alice, because Alice is the only animal that we can trust to be a guardian around the lambs. Now, Ralph can be a guard at night when all the animals are locked up and secured, right? Right? Exactly. It's funny. Yeah, it's... the changes that are happening are uncomfortable. I am uncomfortable with change. I would like to stay in my hole and hide away and lick my wounds and keep my secrets to myself. I think we're all like that, right? But I can't change, and I can't change my course if I do that. If I don't dissect it, because I'm an analytical type of person. I want to dissect everything and say, okay, what caused this? Why am I behaving that way? Why did I react this way? And why do I keep having this way of thinking where I expect or I want the best, or I make excuses for people? And I need to see people for who they truly are and not blow them up into a magical unicorn with glitter and magical thinking. Yeah, exactly. To dig everything up. It's like, it's like, there's all these like characters. Pippi Longstocking, I don't know if anyone, I've just aged myself right there. There were these old movies called Pippi Longstocking, and she would talk over, and her voice would be like this, and the optimism, she was Mrs. Optimism, Mrs. Yeah, we can do this, and then she would solve these problems and be super strong, The reality is that we're not all super strong, and the reality is that things can happen daily. People talking at you or doing things, or animals doing things and behaving, or own limitations, right? You remember Pippi? Oh, and her hair with the wires in it. That was funny. Yeah, I loved that character. She was funny. And then I started reading the stories of Junie B. Jones with My Little Girl for Nighttime Stories. And I loved her character because her life was always filled with so many problems, and she would just try to figure it out. And I love that. I love the fact that she, as this toddler, is trying to figure out these conflicts. She has a new sibling, and she don't like it. She doesn't want to share mother with anyone, dealing with emotions and learning how to see myself in a new light and give myself, people say, give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. And I'm thinking, no, I don't have patience to give myself grace. I expect things from myself. I am the hardest on myself. I have expectations and desires and wants and dreams. But I am learning to be nice to myself again. And I have to tell you, that is a hard one. Learning to be nice. Not to others, but to myself. And sometimes that means being mean to other people by saying no. To them, they think it's like horrible. But saying no is being nice to myself. Yeah, exactly. We are strong. It comes out of the weakness. Absolutely true. It's amazing. So this whole thing about business and mindset and overcoming and learning the attraction marketing and learning all these skills has done so much for me. And to learn how to do a storytelling, and I'm thinking, oh, it sounds like a used car salesman. I'm still learning these skills. I really am. And as soon as I started doing the unblocking of the affirmations that I'm worth it, I can do this, that my understanding on how to do these structured videos or to do the assignment is being possible, being able to understand. So having mind blocks, having blocks in my emotional levels of what I want to do or what I want to share or who I want to be, and it's like I have to be, I'm like, you're frozen in fear, inactivity, not doing something, right? So moving forward, whether it's in small little baby steps or moving sideways, right? It starts with me actually just doing it, just starting. You just got to start being consistent, showing up, and that is awesome, right? So, so I'm learning about the power of storytelling, to share, don't sell. What is there to sell? Be like me. I'm sorry, that's just funny. That's funny. I'm working it. I'm working on being the new defined Julie, right? I'm learning to be my own defined online business owner and being successful and being proud of myself and showing up for myself and feeling and honoring myself and my emotions, being emotionally available. Big deal. Big deal for me, because it's much easier to have a hard shell and to say, yeah, whatever, see ya. Those invisible boundaries that get crossed and we cut people off and say, I'm done. See ya. Don't want to deal with that, right? Yeah, I want to have some boundaries that actually everybody can see, and that so that I can honor myself with that space. Just a little bit of space, right? Social proof builds trust. Let success stories do the talking. I was sharing some amazing stories. Yesterday I learned how to do and post the wins overhead, which was amazing. I just love that. Here, let me see. Let me refresh my talents here. Go to the here. Nope, that's not it. It's not that. It's not that. Not that one. No, it's not that one either. Or I thought it's that one. And sorry. See, I had to do a refresher really quick. And let me see. That was my, Sam. He is so awesome. I like this guy. He's this amazing young man that was a teacher in one of the countries that I am not familiar of saying, in Uganda. Maybe he's in Uganda. But he's done so much work, and he was a teacher, and he's quit his job to do this full time, and he's making a difference in changing other people's lives. And he is such an inspiration. And I learned how to do this. Isn't that the coolest? To learn how to do that. And let me see if I can now turn it off. Yay, right? See? I learned a new skill. So always be proud of yourself, whether you're learning a new skill, learning how to post something, picture it up there, whether you're doing a tag or an effect. Learning something that helps build my confidence has been such a game changer. Get value first. So bullet points. So giving value. So that was another thing. That was something also that was brought up in one of the training episodes in regards to, here, let me show it on my mid-journey. I do a lot of cutting and pasting ideas and things that I needed to focus on. And it was based upon structure. And here, let me see. Here it is. Let's structure your message in a way that speaks directly to my ideal customer. I talk about my struggle, the solution, and then the shift. And it's interesting is because I could not understand. This is how amazing undoing a mindset, a block, emotional block, how it affected me. When I was doing these modules and these instructions, and it talks about the struggle, I'm like, well, the struggle's real. I understand the struggle, blah, blah, blah. I couldn't understand solution when you're providing a solution. Well, the solution itself is having time freedom, financial security in your own online business, starting and creating and investing in a person, yourself, and then the shift. How paint the picture of what is now possible. What is that shift? And the shift is amazing. Overcoming, confidence, learning how to be a problem solver, learning to overcome emotions when they're happening, when they're really intense and overwhelming. Instead of hiding from them and licking my wounds and trying to cope on a daily basis just to get through my day, breathing. Now I'm learning how to deal with episodes of emotional things that are happening in my day. And it's all come apart. It's all been provided for because of this online business, this program. It's just mind-blowing. The live community, the live coaching, the live mentors, the live mindset coaches like Jen Stillion, it's been amazing. And Michelle O'Neill has truly created a program so I can learn to start my own online business and learn how to be successful and to be there for myself. It's amazing. It's an amazing program. She's an amazing woman, and she's a multi-millionaire. By her second year, she closed her year out with $5 million because her goal was not to make money. It was to help other people. She was helping me. 2 years later, a stranger, she's helped me. And I am here to show other people this is how it has affected me in my life. So I want the best for everyone to feel confident and to feel and have healthy boundaries and to learn to be their authentic self and to thrive and have your family, your friends, your new community see you as a leader in your community. Whereas before I felt unseen and lost, and now I have a purpose and a direction. And because of that, I used to work hard, giving away all of myself to take care of the needs of my late husband and take care of the needs of my guests and my friends by sacrificing my health and my well-being to take care of them. So now I'm learning how to value myself and take my own time and have healthy boundaries and to actually honor myself. And so when I think about this online business, it's been a whole package, a whole person creating legacy building mindset that is out there to create a freedom mindset. Because like the Yasharel coming out from slavery from Egypt, and we talk about the scriptures and we talk about those things that we get reminded, and they go through the desert where people have to leave behind the mindset of lack and loss and, I don't know, grief. And then you have to focus on prosperity, the land of milk and honey, all the possibilities, all of those dreams, and that it's okay to dream. Because the Father reminds me that He's before me, He's behind me, and He walks with me. And I'm thinking, oh, well, that would mean I need to actually start having goals. I need to actually start wanting and dreaming about things like I did when I knew I needed a barn to protect the lambs, to make a secure environment for them so they wouldn't be harmed from wildlife. So that is really awesome. And it came about. I was able to do it with my own two hands with the Father. And He creates within me this understanding and this energy and this consistency of showing up each and every day. And that is what it's all about. It's an amazing program. So I'm going to be quiet now, and I'm going to go, and it's prep day for those who follow the feast and the Shabbat Sabbath. So today is prep day. So tomorrow is a complete day of rest. And that means everything has to be cooked and done, cleaned today so that I can completely rest and do not too much of anything tomorrow. Yay! It's the most exciting day out of the week. The day of rest. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You guys have a great, wonderful rest of your day. Tracy, I'll be talking to you soon. And everyone else, if you would like to learn more about the program that I'm talking about, go ahead and send me a DM. Otherwise, you I love, have a great day. And, I've been taking off the Sabbath so I could actually sleep in on that 7th day. So I will be seeing everybody on Monday at 6:40. You I love, have a great day. Enjoy your day of rest if you are resting on Sunday. And I will be seeing you on Monday.